mind, looking for a dime. James Locke in the house, gonna help you shine.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Pool Lock YouTube channel. I'm James Locke. Today we're going to answer some more Ask James questions of the day. So our first question is from Barbara. She says, my husband and I are both 68 years old and retired comfortably. A friend of mine just lost her husband and was shocked when her income dropped, but her taxes went up. I'm worried that could happen to us. What should we do now? Barbara, thank you. Thank you for sending in this question. And let me say this gently, but honestly. You are right to be concerned. This is something every couple needs to think through because it can absolutely happen for two major reasons: income reduction and tax bracket changes. Let's start with the income reduction. When one spouse passes away, Social Security changes. The higher benefit continues for the survivor, but the lower benefit disappears right away. There's a reduction, and depending on how large that lower benefit was, it can be significant. Then there's the pension issue. Many pensions offer different payout options. Some people chose the maximum payout for their own lifetime, which means the pension stops when they pass. Now others choose a 50% survivor benefit, so the spouse gets half the pension. Others choose 100% survivor benefit, so the spouse continues receiving the full amount. But here's the catch: the more protection you choose, the lower the monthly payout during your lifetime. So many people choose the higher payout and accept the risk, which means that when one spouse passes, the pension income can drop dramatically. Now, between Social Security and pensions, it's not unusual for a household income to drop 20% to 30% when one spouse passes. And while a single person doesn't need exactly the same income as two people, they certainly can't live on half. Most people need 70 to 80% of their previous household income to maintain their lifestyle. Now, the second part, taxes. This is the part that surprises people the most. When you're married filing jointly, you stay in a lower tax bracket much longer. The brackets are wider, so you can earn more before moving into a higher one. But when one spouse passes away, the survivor files as single, and single brackets are much narrower. So even if your income drops by 20 or 30%, your tax bracket may still jump. You could end up paying more taxes on less income. So what we call the widow's penalty. It's a double hit: lower income, higher taxes. So what should you do now? Run the numbers. Know exactly what your income would look like if one spouse passed, what Social Security would pay, what your pension would pay, what your investments would generate, and how your tax bracket would change. Second, make sure your investments are structured to provide enough income, not just today, but into the future. Remember, your investments need to hedge inflation, not only for your own income, but for your Social Security and pension too. That means you need a plan that generates reliable income and grows that income over time. Third, consider whether you need to adjust your withdrawal strategy or rebalance your portfolio to create more income. Many people discover they need more income than they originally thought. Not because they need it today, but because they'll need it later if one spouse passes. Barbara, thanks again for your question. It's an important one and a delicate one, and I'm glad you asked it. Perfect question. So if you have a question like Barbara does, love to take a shot at answering it. Email that question to poollock@poollock.com. Let's move along to our second question. This one's from Tom, and he wants to know, rates might get cut this fall. Should I be doing something with my CDs before then? All right, Tom, another great question. And, one I've been hearing a lot lately. CDs are popular because they're simple, safe, and familiar. But whether you should make a move now depends on two things: what the Federal Reserve does next and what your retirement goals are. So let's start with the Federal Reserve. Now, in the news, we heard Kevin Walsh, right? He isn't signaling that he plans to do anything yet. And the committee was divided as last meeting. Some members wanted to raise rates, some wanted to lower them. Predicting what happens next is close to a coin toss. And I've got about a 50-50 shot of reading their minds. And I don't pretend to know which way they'll go. But here's the bigger issue. CDs might not be the right tool for you if in your retirement, if you're in that transition time. Right? They're great for short-term goals, buying a car in 2 years, helping a grandchild with college, a planned lump sum purchase. They give you a guaranteed rate for a short period, and then you write the check. But retirement isn't a lump sum purchase. It's a long-term financial liability. You don't retire and pay one bill. You retire and pay bills every month for 20 to 30 years. That means you need long-term income, not short-term interest. And here's the problem with CDs. Long-term CDs often pay lower rates than short-term ones. So if you try to use CDs for long-term income, you end up locking in lower rates, while other long-term income-producing investments, bonds, bond-like instruments, dividend-paying stocks, often pay significantly more. So the real question isn't whether rates get cut this fall, it's whether CDs are the right tool for your retirement income strategy. And for most retirees, the answer is no. If you're retired or close to it, you need investments that match the length of your retirement. CDs are short-term tools for short-term needs. Good question about CDs, an important one. Glad you asked it. 2 good questions today. Hey, if you'd like to send in your question, love to answer it. Email that question to poollocke@poollocke.com. And if you like what you heard, go ahead and like and subscribe to our channel. I'm James Locke, your retirement income source. I'll see you next time.
Money on my mind, looking for a dime. James Locke in the house, gonna help you shine. Retirement is near, don't you live in fear. Listen up, my friend, let me make it clear.